Hello there, you are welcome to this week's episode on Women's Watch. My name is Abigail Hussaini. Today we have a very interesting topic for you, which is contraception. Contraception, which is also known as birth control or fertility control. Now, before I go on, there are 3 facts I want to establish here. That there is no best method of contraception. The best method is the method that is good for you. The best method is the method that you can tolerate. The best method is the method that you like. Now, second point is that there's no method that is without side effects. Just like drugs are made, there's no drug that is made without side effects. But it doesn't mean that anyone that takes the drug will have that, will suffer from those side effects. Then thirdly, every woman will always find a method that suits her. That is to say, there is no woman on earth that cannot find a method that she can be comfortable with. Now, what is contraception? Contraception, we say, is birth control or fertility control, or method or device designed to prevent pregnancy. Now, we classify them into 3 parts. We have the hormonal method, we have the barrier method, and the IUCDs. The hormonal method are like the daily pills that is taken once every day. And from the day it starts, whether you meet or not, whether you have intercourse or not, you will take it every day. For you to achieve a contraceptive effect, you must take it every day. It is taken from the first day to the last capsule of on the card, and as soon as it finishes, you start again. So for a woman who is using the daily pills, she must continue to use it for as long as she wants to achieve the contraception effect. Then we also have the injectables. The injectable comes as injections. They are taken 3 monthly or 2 monthly, and it has the same effect as all hormonal have the same contraceptive effect. Then the third one in the hormonal group is the implant. The implants are contraceptive capsules, the hormonal capsule injected or inserted under the skin, and as long as it is there, you can achieve a contraceptive effect. Now, there are 2 main implants that is available to us. That is the one that we use for 5 years that give you a contraceptive effect for 5 years, and the one of 3 years, depending on what you want as a woman wanting to achieve birth control. There are flexible capsules. Very easy to use, that inserted under the skin of the arm, and as long as it remains there for the 5 years that is supposed to work, or for the 3 years, depending on which type you choose, for the period it is there, you can achieve a maximum effect on this thing. Then also, we have talked of the injection, we have talked of the implant. Then the morning after pills, those ones are not supposed to be permanent method. They are referred to as emergency contraceptive methods. They are pills that are taken the morning after, just as the name implies. After having intercourse, then you take the pills. It is meant to achieve an emergency, like when a woman uses condom and the condom bursts, or for a woman who does not live permanently with her husband, the husband comes and goes. This can be a very good method for her, but it cannot be used continuously as a method for a woman who have intercourse more than 3-4 times in a week. Now, what are the side effects? Like we say, every method has its own side effect. What are the side effects of the hormonal methods? The hormonal method have one thing in common. Like women using the injectable, their menses may not be regular as it's supposed to be. Their menses may not come monthly. It can be heavier or lighter, but that is not a problem. It will adjust over time. But if the menses comes and it does not stop, or the menses becomes very heavy and the woman cannot cope with, she can go back to the clinic to complain what she's going through, so that her method can be adjusted or she can be advised appropriately. Now, for another side effect the woman expects is that for few women they experience weight increase. That is few women they experience a weight increase. So for women who have, that is why when you come and you want to start a method, your weight is checked, your blood pressure is checked. So if the weight increase is rapid, that shows that the woman cannot continue that method, because over time she's going to be too large for her comfort. Then some women may not see menses at all for a period of time, especially women on injectables. But that is not a problem. That does not mean that a woman is pregnant. But if she's not comfortable with it, she can go back to the clinic and complain so that she can have her method checked. Then, now we move on to the barrier method. Barrier method are, just as the name implies, it creates barrier so that the sperm does not get into the woman, does not get to fertilize the ovum. It clouds the cervix so sperm does not get beyond that. And we have the commonest one in that group is the condom. The condom is used by the male over the penis so that when he ejaculates, the sperm does not get into the woman, not even to go further to fertilize the ovum. Then we also have the female condom. It performs the same purpose. The woman uses it to cover her cervix so that even when the woman ejaculates, it does not get in through the cervix. Then we have the diaphragm also, which is not commonly used in today's modern methods. Then the IUCDs. The IUCD, that is the intrauterine contraceptive device. This one is inserted into the uterus. It is a few minutes procedure. It does not pose any danger to the woman. It is a very flexible plastic. Very flexible plastic. It's very small as it is. It goes into the uterus. It is inserted into the uterus. It is a 5 minutes procedure. It is not that the woman does not have to go through any operation or surgery to have this thing done. It is done in the clinic. It's a day, something, few minutes, you have it done. It is inserted into the uterus. And for as long as it is there, implantation is not going to occur. So which make pregnancy impossible. So it is a method. It is one of the widely used method, and it has about 99.3% effectiveness. That is to say, it is very effective. So when this thing is inserted, the woman is taught how to check it by herself, and for as long as it remains, like most of them, or the one we have in practice now, has a contraceptive effect of 8 to 10 years. But it does not mean that every woman who has it in must leave it for 10 years. If you put it today, by tomorrow you change your mind, you come back and it is removed and fertility returns immediately. One good thing about this method is that it does not interfere with fertility. As immediately the woman change her mind and it is out, fertility returns almost immediately. Now that is all about IUCD. But it's not every woman that can use every method. That is why when you come to the clinic, they ask you series of questions as to when did you get married, when do you have your first child, and if the gap is too much, what happened, how old is your last child. Those questions are not useless. That is to help the caregiver identify whether you can use the method or not. Series of questions. How old are you? Age also determined. They will check your weight, because if you are overweight, there are some method you cannot use. They will check your BP. If your BP is on the high side, there are some methods you cannot use. Now there is a popular saying going around where they say there are tests conducted that will pick a particular method that is good for a particular woman. I want to say clearly here today that there is no such test. The test that is done in the family planning clinic are from those questions we ask you. How old is your last child? What was your method of delivery? How many children have you had? Those one will guide the caregiver or the family planner to know whether the method you have in mind is good for you. And I also want to bring it to our mind that there are so many women who does not want to come in for any method because their friend has told them something evil about it. No, you don't have to depend on what your friend says. Just like I said before, every drug has side effects, but it is not every woman who takes those drugs that have the same effect. So your friend may have had a bad experience. That does not mean that you are going to have. And sometimes it is not the fault of the method. It could be the fault of the user. So you have to come to the clinic, present yourself. Tell them what you want. They will also ask you, how long do you want a contraception? That will also guide in helping you to select a contraceptive method, whether it's going to be a long term, whether it's going to be a short term. Then there are things you will have to consider when asking for a contraception. Now, one thing is that you ask yourself the availability of this method. This method I have chosen, is it going to be available anytime I come? Will I always find it? In case I travel from where I presently live and go to another location, will I always find it? So if the answer is yes, then it's a good one. Then another thing you ask yourself is, can I comply with what they are telling me to do? Like in the IUCD, they will show you how to check for it yourself. So you don't have to come to the clinic each time you want to check your IUCD. Now you ask yourself, this what they are asking me to do to make sure my method is in place. Am I able to do it? Will I be able to do it? Will I comply? Do I understand what they are telling me to do? Now, do I have time? That's another thing you will ask yourself. Do I have time? Because like the injectable, you'll be given an appointment. So on this day, you must come back to the clinic and have your method renewed. Will I have time to be going for this appointment? Like the IUCD, you say, come after 6 weeks so that we can assess you. Will I have time to go? If you don't have time to go, your method may not be effective because you have failed, not because the method has failed. And you may not understand whatever is going on if you don't come to the clinic at the time you are asked to come. Then another thing you ask, will I remember? Am I a forgetful person? Will I remember? Like women on the daily pill, they are told, they are advised to take the pill the same time every day. Now, will I remember to take the pill? Injectable, will I remember to come for my appointment? IUCD, will I remember to check for the tag the time the nurse is telling me to check for the tag? Those are the questions you will now ask yourself. Then if you have a sense, you answer the question sincerely, then you can now walk into a place. Now, I want to make it clear. I also want to point out that it is not something you just go anywhere. So my friend told me she takes an injection. Then you just go anywhere and ask somebody to give you the same injection. Because you have to be tested. You have to be counseled. There are some, just like I talk about the side effect. Those are the things they will sit you down, tell you about the side effect, and ask you, are you comfortable with this side effect? Will you be able to cope with this side effect? But when you just go anywhere and collect it without knowing the side effect, when you start having those complaints, you will think the method is dangerous. You will think something is about to happen to you. So that is why whenever you want to take a contraceptive method, walk into a center where you can get adequate counsel, where you can be introduced to all the available methods, and then where they can also help you to choose a method. We don't choose a method for a client, but we help them to choose a method. Present to them the method that you think is appropriate for them after all the interview, and then you help them to choose a method. And after helping them to choose a method, the rest is now for you. You ask yourself those questions: the availability, can I comply? Do I have time? Will I remember? Then if you are able to provide answer to this, then you are good to go. Thanks for watching. That's all we can take today on this topic. We want to bring you another interesting topic next week on Women's Watch. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button below. I am Abigail Husseini.